Welcome back to Drowsy Tales Daily. Tonight, guaranteed wins became guaranteed losses. Handicappers who sold insider information that never existed. Bookmakers who rigged odds to steal winnings. And betting apps that vanished with millions in deposits. These are the sports betting frauds that turn game day into payday for criminals. Our first story takes us to Las Vegas, where sports handicapper Archibald had been providing betting advice and game predictions for 11 years. He specialized in professional football analysis and was known for his sophisticated statistical models that consistently identified profitable betting opportunities. Archibald maintained an impressive track record with detailed documentation of his winning picks and successful betting strategies. Archibald's football predictions are incredibly accurate, and his insider knowledge of team dynamics gives us a real edge in sports betting, shared satisfied client Beatrice during her successful betting season. His analytical approach and professional connections provide insights that casual bettors never access, making his advice worth every penny. But bettors started discovering that Archibald's documented winning record was completely fabricated, with fake bet slips and manufactured statistics that concealed his actual losing performance, while he collected subscription fees from clients who believed his expertise was genuine. Archibald claimed he won 80% of his football bets last season, but when I verified his picks against actual game results, he lost 60% and cost me thousands, reported deceived bettor Clarence to the Gambling Commission. His documented track record was completely false, and following his advice destroyed my betting bankroll over 3 months. When clients questioned his losing performance, Archibald claimed that sports betting involved inherent variance, and that short-term losses were normal fluctuations that would be overcome through disciplined long-term strategy and professional money management techniques. Investigation revealed Archibald had been creating fraudulent betting records while selling worthless advice to clients who trusted his fabricated expertise, using fake documentation and testimonials to support claims of professional success that never existed. He'd been working with accomplices who provided false testimonials and created fake betting accounts that showed winning performance to attract new subscribers. The fraud particularly harmed recreational bettors who trusted professional handicapping expertise but lost substantial money following advice from someone with no actual betting skills or inside information. Archibald had been maximizing subscription income while clients faced financial losses from following worthless predictions disguised as professional sports analysis. When gambling investigators examined his handicapping operation, they discovered Archibald had been collecting over $600,000 in subscription fees while providing advice that resulted in more than $2 million in client losses through completely fraudulent betting guidance. Our second story brings us to Miami, where online sportsbook operator Cornelius had been running a digital betting platform and managing customer accounts for 8 years. He specialized in exotic betting markets and was known for offering unique wagering opportunities that weren't available through traditional sportsbooks. Cornelius attracted serious bettors who wanted access to specialized markets and competitive odds. Cornelius's sportsbook offers the best odds and most comprehensive betting options I've found anywhere, shared high-volume bettor Delphine during her platform review. His exotic markets and competitive lines give professional bettors the tools we need to find profitable opportunities in niche sports and unique wagering situations. But bettors began discovering their winning bets were being canceled or reduced, while losing bets were always honored, with Cornelius manipulating results and account balances to ensure the house always profited regardless of actual game outcomes. Cornelius canceled my $10,000 winning bet claiming there was a line error, but he never cancels losing bets even when the lines were obviously wrong, reported frustrated bettor Ezekiel to the Gaming Control Board. His sportsbook manipulates results to ensure customers never win significant amounts, making it impossible to profit no matter how accurately you predict games. When bettors complained about canceled winnings, Cornelius claimed that sportsbook operations required risk management procedures that sometimes necessitated bet adjustments due to line errors, technical glitches, and regulatory compliance requirements that protected platform integrity. Investigation revealed Cornelius had been operating a fraudulent sportsbook that manipulated betting results while collecting deposits from customers who believed they were participating in legitimate sports wagering with fair odds and honest payouts. He'd been using sophisticated software to track customer profitability and automatically cancel or reduce any bets that would result in significant customer winnings. The fraud particularly harmed professional bettors who deposited large amounts expecting fair wagering opportunities but faced systematic manipulation that made winning impossible regardless of their betting skill or game knowledge. Cornelius had been maximizing sportsbook profits while bettors received rigged wagering experiences that violated basic gambling fairness and regulatory standards. When gaming investigators examined his sportsbook operation, they discovered Cornelius had been stealing over $4 million from customer accounts while manipulating thousands of bets to prevent legitimate winnings that should have been paid according to advertised odds. Our third story takes us to Chicago, where sports betting consultant Fletcher had been advising clients on bankroll management and betting strategies for 9 years. He specialized in mathematical betting systems and was known for his disciplined approach to sports wagering that emphasized long-term profitability over quick wins. Fletcher attracted serious bettors who wanted professional guidance on advanced betting techniques. Fletcher's betting system completely transformed my approach to sports wagering, shared systematic bettor Genevieve during her strategy consultation. His mathematical models and bankroll management expertise helped me bet professionally rather than emotionally, creating consistent profits through disciplined wagering approaches. But clients started discovering that Fletcher's mathematical betting systems were designed to generate consulting fees rather than betting profits, with complex strategies that required ongoing consultation payments while producing consistent losses for anyone who followed his advice. Fletcher's betting system required me to pay monthly consulting fees while I lost money every month following his mathematical formulas, reported victimized client Harrison to the Consumer Protection Bureau. His system was designed to generate consulting income rather than betting profits, and I lost my entire bankroll while paying him for worthless advice. When clients faced losses from following his systems, Fletcher claimed that mathematical betting approaches required patience and discipline to overcome short-term variance, and that clients who deviated from his precise methodology were responsible for their own unsuccessful results. Investigation revealed Fletcher had been creating intentionally complex betting systems that required ongoing consulting payments while providing advice that was mathematically designed to produce losses, ensuring clients would need continued guidance while never achieving sustainable profitability. He'd been working with corrupt mathematicians who created systems that appeared sophisticated but were actually designed to fail while generating maximum consulting revenue. The fraud particularly harmed aspiring professional bettors who invested substantial money in betting education but received worthless systems that guaranteed financial losses while enriching the consultant. Fletcher had been maximizing consulting income while clients faced inevitable losses from following betting systems that were designed to fail rather than succeed. When gambling investigators examined his consulting operation, they discovered Fletcher had been collecting over $800,000 in consulting fees while providing betting advice that resulted in more than $3 million in client losses through intentionally ineffective systems designed to maximize consulting revenue. Our fourth story brings us to Dallas, where sports information service owner Isabella had been selling game predictions and insider tips for 7 years. She specialized in college basketball analysis and claimed to have connections with coaches and players that provided exclusive information about game outcomes and point spreads. Isabella attracted bettors who wanted access to insider information that would give them an edge over standard handicapping. Isabella's insider information about college basketball gives us access to details that move betting lines before the public catches on, shared subscriber Jasper during his information service review. Her connections within college athletics provide the kind of inside knowledge that separates winning bettors from casual fans who bet without professional insights. But subscribers began discovering that Isabella's insider information was completely fabricated, with fake injury reports and manufactured team news that had no basis in reality, while she collected subscription fees for worthless information that often contradicted actual game conditions. Isabella's insider tip said the star player was injured and wouldn't play, so I bet heavily against his team, but he played the entire game and led them to victory, reported deceived subscriber Catherine to the Sports Information Oversight Board. Her insider information was completely false and cost me thousands on bets that were based on fabricated reports about player conditions and team situations. When subscribers questioned the accuracy of insider information, Isabella claimed that sports information was volatile and that team decisions could change rapidly due to factors beyond her control, making some information obsolete between distribution and game time. Investigation revealed Isabella had been fabricating insider information while collecting subscription fees from bettors who trusted her claimed connections within college athletics, creating false reports that had no basis in actual team conditions or player situations. She'd been working with accomplices who posed as athletic department insiders, but had no actual connection to college sports programs or access to confidential team information. The fraud particularly harmed dedicated college basketball bettors who paid premium prices for exclusive information but received fabricated reports that led to devastating betting losses based on completely false intelligence. Isabella had been maximizing subscription income while subscribers faced financial losses from betting on fraudulent information disguised as professional insider intelligence. When sports information investigators examined her service operation, they discovered Isabella had been collecting over $400,000 in subscription fees while providing false information that resulted in more than $1 million in subscriber losses through completely fabricated insider reports. Our fifth story brings us to Phoenix, where betting syndicate organizer Kenneth had been coordinating group betting strategies and pooling resources for high-stakes wagering for 10 years. He specialized in organizing professional betting groups and was known for his ability to coordinate large-scale wagering operations that leveraged collective resources and expertise. Kenneth attracted serious bettors who wanted to participate in syndicate betting with professional management. Kenneth's betting syndicate allows us to pool resources and bet at professional levels we couldn't reach individually, shared syndicate member Lavinia during her group betting experience. His organizational skills and strategic coordination help us maximize our collective betting power while minimizing individual risk through diversified wagering approaches. But syndicate members started discovering their pooled betting funds were being diverted to Kenneth's personal accounts and unauthorized investments. While fabricated betting reports concealed the fact that their money was being stolen rather than wagered according to syndicate agreements. Kenneth told us our syndicate lost money on bad bets, but we discovered he never placed the wagers and used our funds to buy luxury cars and real estate, reported betrayed member Marcus to the investment fraud division. Our betting syndicate was actually a theft scheme where he stole our pooled funds while providing fake reports about betting losses that never actually occurred. When members demanded accountability for missing funds, Kenneth claimed that professional betting operations required flexible fund management and that market conditions sometimes necessitated alternative investment strategies to maintain syndicate capital during unfavorable betting periods. Investigation revealed Kenneth had been operating a Ponzi scheme that used new member contributions to pay fabricated returns to earlier members while diverting substantial amounts to personal expenses and unauthorized investments that had no connection to sports betting activities. He'd been creating fake betting reports and profit statements that concealed the fact that member funds were being stolen rather than wagered according to syndicate investment agreements. The fraud particularly devastated retirement investors who trusted their savings to professional betting syndicate management but lost their capital to personal theft disguised as collective sports wagering. Kenneth had been collecting millions in member contributions while participants received fake returns that masked the complete theft of their principal investments. When securities investigators examined his syndicate operation, they discovered Kenneth had been stealing over $8 million from more than 300 members while creating fraudulent betting reports that violated investment fraud and securities regulations. Our sixth story brings us to Atlanta, where mobile betting app developer Lysander had been creating sports wagering platforms and managing user accounts for 6 years. He specialized in user-friendly betting interfaces and was known for developing apps that made sports wagering accessible to casual bettors while maintaining professional functionality for serious players. Lysander's apps consistently attracted users who wanted convenient mobile betting experiences. Lysander's betting app has the best interface and most reliable functionality I've used for mobile sports wagering, shared app user Millicent during her platform review. His attention to user experience and technical reliability makes mobile betting smooth and enjoyable, with all the features serious bettors need in a convenient mobile format. But app users began discovering their account balances and betting history were being manipulated. With winning bets mysteriously disappearing and account funds being reduced through unauthorized adjustments that Lysander claimed were technical corrections and system maintenance procedures. My betting app showed a balance of $5,000, but when I tried to withdraw, Lysander claimed technical errors had created false balances and my actual account was empty, reported victimized user Natalie to the Mobile Gaming Commission. His app manipulated account balances and betting history to steal user funds while providing technical explanations that disguised systematic theft. When users complained about missing funds, Lysander claimed that mobile betting platforms experienced technical challenges and database synchronization issues that sometimes created temporary account discrepancies requiring resolution through customer service procedures and technical support. Investigation revealed Lysander had been programming his betting apps to manipulate user account balances while stealing deposited funds through automated systems that created false technical explanations for missing money and unauthorized account adjustments. He'd been working with corrupt payment processors who facilitated fund theft while providing legitimate appearing transaction records that concealed the systematic diversion of user deposits. The fraud particularly harmed casual bettors who trusted mobile app convenience but lost their deposits to automated theft systems disguised as technical platform maintenance and account management procedures. Lysander had been maximizing app revenue while users faced complete loss of deposited funds through systematic manipulation that violated mobile gaming regulations and user service agreements. When technology investigators examined his app operations, they discovered Lysander had been stealing over $6 million from user accounts while programming automated theft systems that affected more than 10,000 mobile betting customers. Our seventh story brings us to Boston, where horse racing handicapper Montgomery had been providing track analysis and betting recommendations for 12 years. He specialized in thoroughbred racing and was known for his detailed track conditions analysis and horse performance predictions that helped bettors find profitable wagering opportunities at various racing venues. Montgomery attracted serious horse racing bettors who wanted professional handicapping expertise. Montgomery's horse racing analysis is incredibly detailed, and his track knowledge helps us identify profitable betting opportunities that casual players miss, shared racing enthusiast Ophelia during her track betting experience. His understanding of track conditions and horse form analysis provides the expertise needed to bet successfully on horse racing rather than just gambling randomly. But bettors started discovering that Montgomery's track analysis was based on outdated information and fabricated insider knowledge, with betting recommendations that consistently produced losses while he collected handicapping fees from clients who trusted his racing expertise. Montgomery's horse racing picks lost money consistently for 6 months, and his claimed insider information about jockeys and trainers turned out to be completely false, reported frustrated bettor Percival to the Racing Commission. His handicapping advice was worthless and cost me thousands while he collected fees for expertise he obviously didn't possess. When clients questioned his losing record, Montgomery claimed that horse racing involved unpredictable variables and that handicapping success required long-term evaluation rather than short-term results, with external factors beyond analytical control affecting race outcomes. Investigation revealed Montgomery had been providing worthless handicapping advice while collecting fees from clients who trusted his claimed racing expertise, using fabricated insider information and outdated track analysis that had no predictive value for actual race outcomes. He'd been working with accomplices who posed as racing insiders but had no actual connection to horse racing operations or access to confidential information about horses, jockeys, or track conditions. The fraud particularly harmed dedicated horse racing fans who paid for professional handicapping expertise but received worthless advice that guaranteed betting losses while enriching a fraudulent handicapper. Montgomery had been maximizing handicapping income while clients faced consistent losses from following advice that was based on fabricated expertise and false insider knowledge. When racing investigators examined his handicapping operation, they discovered Montgomery had been collecting over $500,000 in handicapping fees while providing advice that resulted in more than $2 million in client losses through completely worthless racing analysis. Our eighth story brings us to Denver, where fantasy sports consultant Quincy had been advising players on lineup strategies and player selection for 8 years. He specialized in daily fantasy sports and was known for his statistical analysis and strategic approaches that helped players build winning lineups in competitive fantasy contests. Quincy attracted serious fantasy players who wanted professional guidance on advanced strategies. Quincy's fantasy sports expertise completely transformed my daily fantasy performance, shared fantasy player Rachel during her strategy consultation. His statistical models and player analysis helped me build competitive lineups that consistently cash in tournaments and head-to-head contests against skilled opponents. But fantasy players began discovering that Quincy's lineup advice was designed to benefit his own fantasy entries rather than his clients. With strategic recommendations that eliminated competition while he used inside knowledge of client strategies to build superior lineups. Quincy advised me to avoid certain high-value players, then use those same players in his own lineups to beat me in head-to-head contests, reported victimized client Sterling to the Fantasy Sports Oversight Board. His consulting advice was designed to weaken my lineups while strengthening his own entries, creating conflicts of interest that guaranteed I would lose money. When clients questioned consulting conflicts, Quincy claimed that fantasy sports education provided general strategic guidance that required individual interpretation and that his personal fantasy participation was separate from his consulting services and didn't create conflicts of interest. Investigation revealed Quincy had been deliberately providing inferior advice to consulting clients while using superior strategies in his own fantasy entries, creating systematic conflicts of interest that guaranteed client losses while maximizing his own fantasy profits. He'd been collecting detailed information about client lineup strategies and using that intelligence to build opposing lineups that exploited client weaknesses he had created through fraudulent consulting advice. The fraud particularly harmed aspiring professional fantasy players who paid for expert guidance but received advice designed to ensure their failure while enriching the consultant who was supposed to help them succeed. Quincy had been maximizing both consulting income and fantasy winnings while clients faced inevitable losses from following advice that was deliberately designed to create competitive disadvantages. When fantasy sports investigators examined his consulting operation, they discovered Quincy had been collecting over $300,000 in consulting fees while winning more than $1 million in fantasy contests against clients who followed his intentionally inferior strategic advice. Our ninth story brings us to Seattle, where sports memorabilia authentication expert Reginald had been verifying collectibles and providing certificates of authenticity for sports betting prizes and promotional items for 9 years. He specialized in autograph verification and was trusted by betting platforms and collectors to authenticate valuable sports items used in promotional contests and high-stakes wagering rewards. Reginald was known for his expertise in detecting forgeries and ensuring collectible authenticity. Reginald's authentication expertise gives us confidence that our sports memorabilia investments are genuine and valuable, shared collector Stephanie during her authentication process. His knowledge of autograph analysis and collectible verification protects us from purchasing forgeries and ensures our collection maintains its investment value through proper authentication. But collectors began discovering that Reginald was providing certificates of authenticity for obvious forgeries and mass-produced items while collecting authentication fees for services that provided no actual verification or expertise in collectible evaluation. Reginald authenticated a signed baseball that was obviously a printed signature, and his certificate made us believe it was worth thousands when it's actually worthless, reported deceived collector Tabitha to the Collectibles Oversight Board. His authentication services provided false certificates that made worthless items appear valuable, costing us substantial money on fake collectibles. When collectors questioned authentication accuracy, Reginald claimed that sports memorabilia verification involved subjective analysis and that authentication opinions could vary among experts due to the complexity of signature analysis and collectible evaluation procedures. Investigation revealed Reginald had been providing fraudulent authentication certificates while collecting fees from collectors who trusted his expertise to verify valuable sports memorabilia, creating false documentation that made worthless items appear authentic and valuable. He'd been working with memorabilia dealers who sold obvious forgeries while Reginald provided authentication certificates that supported fraudulent sales of counterfeit collectibles. The fraud particularly harmed serious collectors who relied on professional authentication to protect their investments but received false certificates that made worthless items appear valuable and authentic. Reginald had been maximizing authentication income while collectors faced financial losses from purchasing fake memorabilia that appeared legitimate due to fraudulent authentication services. When collectibles investigators examined his authentication operation, they discovered Reginald had been providing false certificates for over 2,000 items while collecting more than $400,000 in fees for authentication services that violated collectibles industry standards and consumer protection requirements. Our 10th story brings us to Nashville, where sports betting tutorial service owner Theodore had been teaching betting strategies and bankroll management techniques for 7 years. He specialized in educating novice bettors and was known for his comprehensive courses that covered everything from basic odds calculation to advanced betting systems and money management principles. Theodore attracted aspiring sports bettors who wanted professional education. Theodore's betting education program taught me everything I needed to know about professional sports wagering, shared student Ursula during her course completion. His comprehensive curriculum covers all aspects of successful betting, from mathematical analysis to psychological discipline, giving students the foundation for long-term profitability. But students began discovering that Theodore's betting education included illegal strategies and unethical practices that resulted in account closures and potential legal problems for anyone who followed his instruction in real betting situations. Theodore taught us to use fake identities to open multiple sportsbook accounts and exploit promotional bonuses, but now I'm banned from all major betting platforms, reported troubled student Victor to the Education Oversight Board. His betting education included illegal techniques that he presented as professional strategies, but they're actually violations that could result in prosecution and permanent betting bans. When students faced problems from following his instruction, Theodore claimed that sports betting education provided general strategies that required individual legal consultation to ensure proper implementation within current regulations and personal circumstances that varied by jurisdiction. Investigation revealed Theodore had been teaching illegal betting practices while collecting education fees from students who trusted his expertise to provide legitimate instruction that would support successful, legal sports wagering careers. He'd been working with banned bettors who shared unethical techniques in exchange for teaching opportunities that generated additional income from educational services. The fraud particularly endangered novice bettors who invested in professional education but learned practices that resulted in betting bans and potential legal problems rather than successful wagering skills. Theodore had been maximizing education income while students faced account closures and legal risks from following fraudulent instruction disguised as legitimate betting education. When gambling education investigators examined his tutorial operation, they discovered Theodore had been teaching illegal practices to over 500 students while collecting more than $600,000 in course fees for education that violated betting regulations and professional teaching standards. Our 11th story brings us to Portland, where sports analytics company owner Vivian had been providing statistical analysis and predictive modeling services for professional bettors and betting syndicates for 8 years. She specialized in advanced data analysis and was known for creating sophisticated models that identified profitable betting opportunities through comprehensive statistical evaluation. Vivian attracted serious bettors who wanted cutting-edge analytical tools. Vivian's statistical models provide the most comprehensive sports analysis I've ever used for betting decisions, shared professional bettor Wesley during his analytics consultation. Her data science expertise and predictive modeling create analytical advantages that separate professional bettors from casual players who bet without statistical foundation. But betting clients began discovering that Vivian's statistical models contained fabricated data and manipulated results that supported whatever conclusions she wanted to promote, while she collected analytics fees for worthless analysis that had no predictive value or statistical validity. Vivian's statistical model predicted a sure winner, but when I verified her data sources, I found she had fabricated key statistics and manipulated historical results, reported deceived client Jimena to the Analytics Oversight Board. Her statistical analysis was completely fraudulent and cost me thousands on bets that were based on fabricated data and manipulated predictive models. When clients questioned model accuracy, Vivian claimed that statistical analysis involved complex methodologies and that predictive modeling required subjective interpretation of data patterns that could produce varying results depending on analytical approaches and statistical assumptions. Investigation revealed Vivian had been creating fraudulent statistical models while collecting analytics fees from clients who trusted her data science expertise. Using fabricated data and manipulated results to support predetermined conclusions that had no basis in actual statistical analysis. She'd been working with corrupt data providers who supplied false statistics that supported whatever analytical conclusions Vivian needed to generate consulting income from betting clients. The fraud particularly harmed professional bettors who relied on statistical analysis to guide betting decisions, but received completely fabricated models that guaranteed financial losses based on worthless predictive analysis. Vivian had been maximizing analytics income while clients faced betting losses from following advice based on fraudulent statistical models that violated data science standards and analytical integrity requirements. When data analytics investigators examined her company operations, they discovered Vivian had been providing false statistical analysis that resulted in over $4 million in client losses while collecting more than $800,000 in consulting fees for analytics services that contained no legitimate statistical content. Our 12th story brings us to Tampa, where sports betting software developer Yolanda had been creating automated betting systems and algorithmic wagering tools for 6 years. She specialized in developing software that automated betting decisions and was known for creating systems that could process large volumes of betting data and execute wagers automatically based on programmed criteria. Yolanda attracted tech-savvy bettors who wanted automated solutions. Yolanda's automated betting software revolutionizes how I approach sports wagering, shared software user Zachary during his system evaluation. Her algorithmic tools process betting data faster than human analysis and execute wagers automatically based on proven statistical criteria, eliminating emotional decisions and human error from betting strategies. But software users began discovering their automated betting systems were programmed to ensure losses while Yolanda collected software licensing fees for systems that were designed to fail rather than succeed in actual betting environments. Yolanda's automated betting software lost money consistently for 3 months. And when I analyzed the code, I found it was programmed to make losing bets while appearing to use legitimate strategy, reported victimized user Adelaide to the Software Oversight Board. Her betting algorithms were designed to generate licensing fees rather than betting profits, and the software guaranteed losses while appearing to use professional betting logic. When users questioned software performance, Yolanda claimed that automated betting systems required calibration periods and that algorithmic trading involved inherent risks that couldn't be eliminated through software automation, requiring patience and system optimization over extended time periods. Investigation revealed Yolanda had been programming automated betting systems to ensure user losses while collecting licensing fees from bettors who trusted her software expertise, creating algorithms that appeared sophisticated but were actually designed to produce consistent losses while generating maximum licensing revenue. She'd been working with corrupt software testers who provided false performance reports that concealed the fact that betting systems were programmed to fail rather than succeed. The fraud particularly harmed technology-oriented bettors who trusted automated systems to improve their betting performance, but received software that guaranteed financial losses while enriching the developer. Yolanda had been maximizing software licensing income while users faced inevitable losses from automated systems that were programmed to fail rather than succeed. When software investigators examined her development operation, they discovered Yolanda had been selling fraudulent betting software that resulted in more than $2 million in user losses while collecting over $500,000 in licensing fees for systems that violated software performance standards and consumer protection requirements. Our 13th story brings us to San Antonio, where sports betting insurance service owner Barnabas had been providing bet protection and loss mitigation services for 5 years. He specialized in offering insurance policies that protected bettors against losses and was known for creating risk management products that allowed bettors to hedge their wagering exposure. Barnabas attracted cautious bettors who wanted protection against betting losses. Barnabas's betting insurance gives us peace of mind when making large wagers, shared insured bettor Cordelia during her risk management consultation. His insurance products protect our betting bankroll against catastrophic losses while allowing us to pursue profitable opportunities with confidence that our capital is protected. But insured bettors began discovering their betting insurance policies were worthless when they needed to file claims, with Barnabas refusing to honor coverage while keeping premium payments for insurance protection that was never actually provided. Barnabas sold me betting insurance for my large wagers, but when I filed claims for covered losses, he denied coverage claiming technical policy violations that weren't mentioned in our agreement, reported betrayed client Demetrius to the insurance commission. His betting insurance was fraudulent and provided no actual protection despite collecting substantial premium payments for coverage that was never honored. When insured bettors demanded claim payments, Barnabas claimed that betting insurance involved complex policy terms and that coverage determinations required careful evaluation of wagering circumstances and policy compliance that sometimes resulted in claim adjustments or denials. Investigation revealed Barnabas had been selling fraudulent betting insurance while collecting premium payments from bettors who trusted his risk management expertise, creating policies that appeared to provide protection but contained hidden exclusions that made coverage worthless when claims were filed. He'd been working with corrupt insurance adjusters who automatically denied legitimate claims while creating technical justifications that concealed the fact that insurance policies provided no actual coverage. The fraud particularly harmed risk-averse bettors who paid substantial premiums for betting protection but received worthless insurance that provided no actual coverage when they needed claim payments. Barnabas had been collecting substantial premium income while insured bettors received no actual protection from policies that were designed to collect premiums without providing legitimate insurance coverage. When insurance investigators examined his service operation, they discovered Barnabas had been collecting over $400,000 in insurance premiums while denying more than 90% of legitimate claims through fraudulent policy exclusions that violated insurance regulations and consumer protection requirements. Our 14th story brings us to Indianapolis, where sports betting credit service owner Evangeline had been providing wagering credit and bankroll financing for bettors who wanted to increase their betting capacity for 7 years. She specialized in extending credit to serious bettors and was known for helping profitable bettors leverage their success through additional wagering capital. Evangeline attracted successful bettors who wanted to maximize their betting potential. Evangeline's betting credit service allows us to leverage our profitable betting strategies with additional capital, shared credit client Fletcher during his financing arrangement. Her flexible credit terms and understanding of betting cash flow help successful bettors maximize their earning potential through expanded wagering capacity without traditional banking complications. But credit clients began discovering they were being charged illegal interest rates and hidden fees that violated lending regulations, while Evangeline used aggressive collection practices that threatened clients who couldn't meet payment obligations on betting credit that was designed to create debt rather than support profitable wagering. Evangeline's betting credit had hidden fees and interest rates that weren't disclosed in our agreement, and when I couldn't pay, she threatened violence and harassment, reported victimized debtor Gabriella to the Lending Oversight Board. Her credit service was actually a loan sharking operation that used illegal lending practices and criminal collection methods disguised as legitimate betting finance. When credit clients faced collection problems, Evangeline claimed that betting credit involved specialized lending risks that required non-traditional financing terms and that collection procedures followed industry standards for high-risk lending in unregulated gambling finance markets. Investigation revealed Evangeline had been operating an illegal lending operation that charged usurious interest rates while using criminal collection practices, creating betting credit arrangements that were designed to trap borrowers in debt cycles rather than support profitable wagering activities. She'd been working with criminal enforcers who used threats and violence to collect betting debts while creating fear and intimidation that prevented borrowers from reporting illegal lending practices. The fraud particularly endangered desperate bettors who needed capital but received predatory loans that created dangerous debt obligations and potential physical harm from criminal collection methods. Evangeline had been maximizing lending profits while borrowers faced financial ruin and personal safety risks from illegal lending disguised as legitimate betting credit services. When lending investigators examined her credit operation, they discovered Evangeline had been operating an illegal loan shark business that charged over $3 million in usurious interest while using criminal collection methods that violated lending regulations. Our 15th story brings us to Charlotte, where sports betting tournament organizer Harrison had been hosting high-stakes betting competitions and managing prize pools for 9 years. He specialized in organizing betting contests and was known for creating exciting tournaments that attracted serious bettors competing for substantial prizes. Harrison's tournaments consistently drew skilled participants who wanted to test their abilities against other professional bettors. Harrison's betting tournaments provide the most competitive and exciting betting competitions available, shared tournament participant Isadora during her contest experience. His professional organization and substantial prize pools create the perfect environment for serious bettors to compete against each other and demonstrate their skills. But tournament participants began discovering their entry fees were being stolen and prize pools were never distributed, with Harrison creating fake tournament results and fabricated winner announcements while collecting substantial entry fees for competitions that were completely fraudulent. Harrison collected our tournament entry fees and announced winners, but no prizes were ever distributed and the tournament results were obviously fabricated, reported cheated participant Jessica to the Tournament Oversight Board. His betting tournaments were fraudulent schemes that collected entry fees while providing fake competitions and non-existent prize distributions. When participants demanded prize distributions, Harrison claimed that tournament operations involved complex prize pool management and that winner verification procedures sometimes required extended processing time due to regulatory compliance and tax reporting requirements. Investigation revealed Harrison had been organizing fraudulent betting tournaments while collecting entry fees from participants who trusted his tournament management expertise, creating fake competitions that appeared legitimate but never distributed any prizes to supposed winners. He'd been working with accomplices who posed as tournament winners but received no actual prize money, creating false winner announcements that concealed the fact that prize pools were being stolen rather than distributed. The fraud particularly harmed skilled bettors who paid substantial entry fees to compete in professional tournaments but participated in completely fraudulent competitions that provided no actual contest or prize opportunities. Harrison had been collecting tournament entry fees while participants received fake competitions that violated tournament standards and gaming regulations. When tournament investigators examined his operation, they discovered Harrison had been stealing over $2 million in entry fees from more than 1,500 tournament participants while providing completely fraudulent betting competitions that contained no legitimate contest elements. Our 16th story brings us to New Orleans, where sports betting research service owner Catherine had been providing game analysis and betting intelligence for 8 years. She specialized in comprehensive research and was known for delivering detailed reports that covered all aspects of upcoming games and betting opportunities. Catherine attracted serious bettors who wanted thorough analysis before making wagering decisions. Catherine's research service provides the most comprehensive game analysis available for sports betting, shared research subscriber Leroy during his service evaluation. Her detailed reports cover everything from player injuries to weather conditions, giving us all the information needed to make informed betting decisions based on thorough professional research. But subscribers began discovering that Catherine's research reports were plagiarized from free online sources and contained no original analysis or exclusive information. While she collected subscription fees for worthless research that provided no competitive advantage or valuable insights, Catherine's premium research report was copied word for word from a free sports website, and her claimed exclusive analysis was available to anyone with internet access, reported deceived subscriber Magnolia to the Research Oversight Board. Her research service provided no original content or exclusive information despite charging premium prices for analysis that was completely plagiarized from free sources. When subscribers questioned research originality, Catherine claimed that sports analysis involved reviewing multiple sources and that comprehensive research required synthesizing available information in ways that provided value through organization and presentation rather than original content creation. Investigation revealed Catherine had been plagiarizing sports analysis while collecting subscription fees from bettors who trusted her research expertise, copying free online content and presenting it as original analysis that justified premium subscription pricing. She'd been working with content farms that provided bulk sports analysis that she repackaged as exclusive research while adding no original insights or valuable information. The fraud particularly harmed dedicated researchers who paid for exclusive analysis but received plagiarized content that was available free to anyone willing to search online sources. Catherine had been maximizing subscription income while subscribers received worthless research that violated copyright laws and provided no actual value or competitive advantage. When research investigators examined her service operation, they discovered Catherine had been plagiarizing content worth over $600,000 in subscription fees while providing no original research or exclusive analysis that justified premium pricing or subscription costs. Our 17th story brings us to Kansas City, where sports betting equipment supplier Marcus had been selling betting tools and analytical hardware for 6 years. He specialized in providing technological solutions for serious bettors and was known for offering advanced equipment that enhanced betting analysis and wagering efficiency. Marcus attracted tech-oriented bettors who wanted professional-grade tools and equipment. Marcus provides the most advanced betting equipment and analytical tools available for serious sports wagering, shared equipment customer Nicole during her technology consultation. His hardware solutions and software packages give professional bettors the technological advantages needed to compete effectively in modern betting markets. But equipment buyers began discovering they were purchasing standard consumer electronics with misleading labels and inflated prices, while Marcus claimed his products contained specialized features and professional capabilities that didn't actually exist. Marcus sold me betting analysis equipment for $5,000. But it's just a regular laptop with betting software that's available free online, reported deceived buyer Orville to the Equipment Oversight Board. His professional betting equipment was standard consumer technology with inflated prices and false claims about specialized capabilities that don't exist. When buyers questioned equipment specifications, Marcus claimed that professional betting equipment required specialized configurations and that his technological modifications enhanced standard hardware performance in ways that weren't immediately apparent to casual users without technical expertise. Investigation revealed Marcus had been selling standard consumer electronics while collecting premium prices from buyers who trusted his equipment expertise, relabeling ordinary technology as specialized betting equipment that justified inflated pricing through false claims about professional capabilities. He'd been working with corrupt technology suppliers who provided ordinary hardware that Marcus repackaged as professional betting equipment while adding no actual enhancements or specialized features. The fraud particularly harmed serious bettors who invested substantial money in professional equipment but received standard consumer technology that provided no competitive advantages or specialized betting capabilities. Marcus had been maximizing equipment sales while buyers received ordinary technology disguised as professional betting equipment that violated consumer protection and product labeling requirements. When technology investigators examined his equipment operation, they discovered Marcus had been selling mislabeled consumer electronics worth over $800,000 while providing no actual professional enhancements or specialized betting capabilities. Our 18th story brings us to Detroit, where sports betting coaching service owner Patricia had been providing one-on-one instruction and personalized betting guidance for 7 years. She specialized in individualized coaching and was known for helping struggling bettors develop winning strategies through personal mentorship and customized instruction. Patricia attracted bettors who wanted personalized attention and individual guidance. Patricia's personal coaching transformed my betting approach and helped me develop consistent winning strategies, shared coaching client Quincy during his mentorship experience. Her individualized attention and customized instruction address my specific weaknesses while building on my strengths to create sustainable betting success. But coaching clients began discovering they were paying for individual instruction that was actually generic group advice delivered through mass communications, while Patricia collected premium coaching fees for personalized services that provided no individual attention or customized guidance. Patricia's personal coaching was just generic betting advice sent to all her clients simultaneously, with no individual attention or customized instruction despite charging premium prices for personalized service, reported disappointed client Rachel to the Coaching Oversight Board. Her coaching service provided no individual guidance or personal attention despite marketing one-on-one instruction and collecting fees for personalized mentorship. When clients questioned coaching individualization, Patricia claimed that professional betting instruction involved proven methodologies that were effective for multiple clients, and that personalization occurred through individual application of universal betting principles rather than completely unique instruction. Investigation revealed Patricia had been providing generic betting advice while collecting premium coaching fees from clients who trusted her personalized instruction expertise, sending identical advice to all clients while claiming it was customized for individual needs and circumstances. She'd been working with automated messaging systems that delivered mass communications while creating the appearance of personal attention and individualized coaching services. The fraud particularly harmed struggling bettors who paid premium prices for personal attention but received generic advice that provided no individual guidance or customized instruction. Patricia had been maximizing coaching income while clients received standard advice disguised as personalized instruction that violated coaching service standards and individualized attention commitments. When coaching investigators examined her service operation, they discovered Patricia had been collecting over $500,000 in coaching fees while providing no actual personalized instruction or individual attention to more than 200 clients who paid for customized mentorship services. Our 19th story brings us to Columbus, where sports betting travel service owner Sterling had been organizing betting trips and gambling excursions for 8 years. He specialized in VIP betting experiences and was known for arranging luxury trips to premier gambling destinations with exclusive access to high-limit betting opportunities. Sterling attracted affluent bettors who wanted premium travel experiences combined with professional betting opportunities. Sterling's betting travel service provides incredible VIP experiences at the world's premier gambling destinations, shared travel client Tabitha during her luxury betting excursion. His exclusive arrangements and premium accommodations create unforgettable betting experiences with access to high-limit opportunities that aren't available to regular travelers. But travel clients began discovering their expensive betting trips included substandard accommodations and no actual VIP access, while Sterling collected premium travel fees for luxury experiences that were actually budget arrangements with inflated pricing and false promises about exclusive access. Sterling's VIP betting trip was a disaster with cheap hotels and no exclusive access to anything, despite paying premium prices for luxury accommodations and VIP treatment, reported victimized traveler Theodore to the Travel Oversight Board. His betting travel service provided substandard experiences while charging luxury prices for VIP access and premium accommodations that were completely false. When clients complained about travel quality, Sterling claimed that gambling destination availability and VIP access were subject to casino policies and booking limitations that sometimes required alternative arrangements while maintaining the same service quality and exclusive experience standards. Investigation revealed Sterling had been providing budget travel arrangements while collecting premium prices from clients who trusted his VIP travel expertise, booking cheap accommodations and standard casino access, while claiming to provide luxury experiences and exclusive gambling opportunities. He'd been working with discount travel providers who supplied budget arrangements that Sterling marketed as VIP experiences while adding substantial markups for false claims about luxury accommodations and exclusive access. The fraud particularly harmed affluent bettors who paid premium prices for VIP experiences but received budget travel that provided no luxury accommodations or exclusive gambling access. Sterling had been maximizing travel profits while clients received substandard experiences that violated travel service commitments and luxury accommodation promises. When travel investigators examined his service operation, they discovered Sterling had been overcharging clients by more than $1 million while providing budget travel disguised as VIP betting experiences that violated travel service standards and luxury accommodation commitments. Our 20th story brings us to Milwaukee, where sports betting social media influencer Ursula had been promoting betting strategies and gambling advice through online platforms for 5 years. She specialized in social media marketing and was known for building large followings of betting enthusiasts who trusted her gambling expertise and strategic recommendations. Ursula attracted aspiring bettors who wanted to learn from successful social media personalities. Ursula's social media content provides incredible betting insights and strategic advice that helps us improve our gambling results, shared follower Victor during his social media engagement. Her authentic approach and transparent sharing of betting strategies create a community of successful bettors who learn from her experience and expertise. But followers began discovering that Ursula's betting success was completely fabricated, with fake betting slips and manufactured win records that concealed her actual losing performance while she collected sponsorship money and affiliate commissions for promoting gambling services to her deceived audience. Ursula's betting success was completely fake with photoshopped bet slips and fabricated win records, while she promoted gambling services that cost her followers thousands, reported deceived follower Vivian to the social media oversight board. Her social media influence was based on false betting success that led followers to trust her gambling advice and lose money on services she promoted for commission income. When followers questioned her betting authenticity, Ursula claimed that social media content required entertainment value and that betting results were presented for educational purposes rather than as guarantees of follower success or professional gambling performance. Investigation revealed Ursula had been creating fraudulent social media content while collecting sponsorship money from gambling services, using fake betting success to build audience trust that she exploited for affiliate marketing income from followers who believed her fabricated gambling expertise. She'd been working with gambling operators who paid commissions for customer referrals while knowing that Ursula's promotional content was based on false betting success and fabricated gambling results. The fraud particularly harmed novice bettors who trusted social media gambling advice, but lost money following recommendations from someone with no actual betting skills or gambling success. Ursula had been maximizing social media income while followers faced financial losses from following advice based on completely fabricated betting expertise and false gambling success. When social media investigators examined her influencer operation, they discovered Ursula had been collecting over $300,000 in sponsorship income while promoting gambling services that resulted in more than $2 million in follower losses through completely fraudulent betting influence and false gambling expertise. Our 21st story brings us to Oklahoma City, where sports betting legal advisor Wesley had been providing gambling law guidance and regulatory compliance advice for 6 years. He specialized in betting regulations and was known for helping bettors navigate legal requirements and maintain compliance with gambling laws. Wesley attracted serious bettors who wanted professional legal guidance for their gambling activities. Wesley's legal expertise helps us stay compliant with gambling regulations while maximizing our betting opportunities, shared legal client Jimena during her compliance consultation. His knowledge of betting laws and regulatory requirements protects us from legal problems while ensuring we can pursue profitable gambling strategies within legal boundaries. But legal clients began discovering that Wesley's gambling law advice was completely incorrect and led to regulatory violations and potential prosecution, while he collected legal fees for worthless advice that endangered clients rather than protecting them from legal problems. Wesley's legal advice led to regulatory violations and potential criminal charges, and his gambling law guidance was completely wrong about legal requirements and compliance obligations, reported endangered client Yolanda to the Legal Oversight Board. His legal expertise was fraudulent and created criminal liability rather than protecting us from legal problems as promised. When clients faced legal problems from following his advice, Wesley claimed that gambling law was complex and constantly changing, and that legal interpretations could vary among jurisdictions and regulatory agencies in ways that created unexpected compliance challenges. Investigation revealed Wesley had been providing fraudulent legal advice while collecting fees from clients who trusted his gambling law expertise, giving guidance that violated regulatory requirements, and created criminal liability for clients who believed they were receiving professional legal protection. He'd been working with suspended attorneys who provided false legal information that Wesley presented as authoritative guidance, while having no actual legal training or regulatory expertise. The fraud particularly endangered serious bettors who needed legitimate legal guidance, but received advice that created prosecution risks and regulatory violations rather than legal protection. Wesley had been maximizing legal advisory income while clients faced criminal liability from following fraudulent legal advice that violated professional legal standards and regulatory compliance requirements. When legal investigators examined his advisory operation, They discovered Wesley had been providing false legal advice that created over $500,000 in client legal liability while collecting more than $200,000 in advisory fees for guidance that violated legal practice, standards, and regulatory compliance requirements. Our 22nd story brings us to Tulsa, where sports betting accounting service owner Zachary had been managing gambling finances and tax obligations for professional bettors for 7 years. He specialized in gambling taxation and was known for helping bettors maintain proper financial records and comply with tax reporting requirements. Zachary attracted successful bettors who needed professional financial management for their gambling activities. Zachary's accounting expertise helps us manage our betting finances and stay compliant with tax obligations, shared accounting client Adelaide during her financial review. His knowledge of gambling taxation and record-keeping requirements protects us from tax problems while optimizing our financial management and betting profitability. But accounting clients began discovering their gambling tax returns contained fraudulent information and illegal deductions that created audit risks and potential prosecution. While Zachary collected accounting fees for services that endangered clients rather than protecting their financial interests, Zachary filed fraudulent tax returns claiming illegal gambling deductions, and now I'm facing tax fraud charges and potential prosecution, reported victimized client Bartholomew to the Accounting Oversight Board. His accounting expertise was fraudulent and created criminal tax liability rather than protecting my financial interests as promised. When clients faced tax problems from his accounting services, Zachary claimed that gambling taxation involved complex regulations and that tax strategies required aggressive approaches to maximize deductions and minimize tax obligations within legal boundaries that sometimes created audit risks. Investigation revealed Zachary had been filing fraudulent tax returns while collecting accounting fees from clients who trusted his gambling taxation expertise, creating illegal deductions and false information that violated tax law and created prosecution risks for clients who believed they were receiving professional financial protection. He'd been working with corrupt tax preparers who provided fraudulent tax strategies that Zachary implemented while claiming they were legitimate gambling tax optimization techniques. The fraud particularly endangered successful bettors who needed legitimate tax guidance, but received advice that created prosecution risks and tax fraud liability rather than financial protection. Zachary had been maximizing accounting income while clients faced criminal tax liability from following fraudulent accounting advice that violated professional standards and tax compliance requirements. When tax investigators examined his accounting operation, they discovered Zachary had been filing fraudulent tax returns that created over $2 million in client tax liability while collecting more than $400,000 in accounting fees for services that violated tax law and professional accounting standards. Our 23rd story brings us to Little Rock, where sports betting security consultant Cordelia had been providing account protection and fraud prevention services for 5 years. She specialized in gambling security and was known for helping bettors protect their accounts and prevent unauthorized access to their betting funds. Cordelia attracted cautious bettors who wanted professional security guidance for their gambling activities. Cordelia's security expertise protects our betting accounts from fraud and unauthorized access, shared security client Demetrius during his protection consultation. Her knowledge of gambling security and account protection helps us safeguard our betting funds while maintaining convenient access to our gambling activities. But security clients began discovering that Cordelia was actually stealing their account information and betting funds while providing fake security services that gave her access to client accounts, allowing her to drain betting balances while claiming to provide protection. Cordelia's security service was actually a theft scheme that gave her access to our betting accounts, and she stole our funds while claiming to provide account protection, reported victimized client Evangeline to the Security Oversight Board. Her security expertise was fraudulent and designed to steal our betting funds rather than protect them as promised. When clients discovered missing funds, Cordelia claimed that gambling security involved complex threats and that account breaches could occur despite professional protection services, requiring additional security measures and enhanced protection protocols. Investigation revealed Cordelia had been operating a theft scheme while collecting security fees from clients who trusted her account protection expertise, using fake security services to gain access to client betting accounts that she systematically drained while claiming to provide professional fraud prevention. She'd been working with corrupt security technicians who provided access to client accounts while creating false security reports that concealed the systematic theft of betting funds. The fraud particularly harmed cautious bettors who paid for professional security but received services designed to steal their funds rather than protect them from unauthorized access. Cordelia had been collecting security fees while stealing client betting funds through fraudulent protection services that violated security standards and professional trust obligations. When security investigators examined her protection operation, they discovered Cordelia had been stealing over $1 million from client betting accounts while collecting more than $300,000 in security fees for services that were designed to facilitate theft rather than prevent it. Our 24th story brings us to Jackson, where sports betting data mining service owner Fletcher had been collecting and analyzing betting patterns for 4 years. He specialized in big data analysis and was known for identifying profitable betting trends through comprehensive data collection and statistical analysis. Fletcher attracted analytical bettors who wanted data-driven insights for their gambling decisions. Fletcher's data mining service provides incredible insights into betting patterns and profitable opportunities, shared data client Gabriella during her analysis consultation. His comprehensive data collection and statistical analysis reveal betting trends that give us significant advantages over casual bettors who gamble without data-driven insights. But data clients began discovering their personal betting information was being sold to competitors and used for identity theft, while Fletcher collected data fees for services that compromised client privacy and created security risks rather than providing competitive advantages. Fletcher's data mining service sold our personal betting information to competitors and criminals, leading to identity theft and compromised betting accounts, reported victimized client Harrison to the Data Protection Authority. His data analysis was actually a privacy violation scheme that endangered our security rather than providing competitive advantages as promised. When clients faced privacy breaches, Fletcher claimed that data mining operations required comprehensive information processing and that data security involved inherent risks that couldn't be eliminated despite professional protection protocols and privacy safeguards. Investigation revealed Fletcher had been selling client data while collecting analysis fees from bettors who trusted his data mining expertise, harvesting personal information and betting patterns that he sold to competitors and criminal organizations for identity theft and fraud purposes. He'd been working with data brokers who purchased detailed betting information that they used for criminal purposes while Fletcher claimed to provide legitimate analytical services. The fraud particularly harmed analytical bettors who provided detailed information for data analysis but received privacy violations and security risks rather than competitive advantages. Fletcher had been maximizing data sales income while clients faced identity theft and privacy violations from services that were designed to harvest personal information rather than provide legitimate data analysis. When data protection investigators examined his mining operation, they discovered Fletcher had been selling personal information from over 3,000 clients while collecting more than $600,000 in data fees for services that violated privacy regulations and data protection requirements. Our 25th story brings us to Baton Rouge, where sports betting psychology consultant Isadora had been providing mental coaching and gambling psychology services for 6 years. She specialized in betting psychology and was known for helping bettors develop mental discipline and emotional control for successful gambling. Isadora attracted struggling bettors who wanted professional psychological guidance for their gambling problems. Isadora's psychology expertise helps us develop the mental discipline needed for successful sports betting, shared psychology client Jessica during her mental coaching session. Her understanding of gambling psychology and emotional control helps us avoid impulsive decisions and maintain profitable betting strategies through psychological discipline. But psychology clients began discovering that Isadora was deliberately encouraging gambling addiction and destructive betting behaviors while collecting therapy fees for psychological services that worsened client problems rather than helping them develop healthy gambling habits. Isadora encouraged me to increase my betting and ignore financial problems, making my gambling addiction worse while charging for psychological help, reported damaged client Kenneth to the Psychology Licensing Board. Her psychology expertise was fraudulent and designed to worsen gambling problems rather than help clients develop healthy betting behaviors. When clients' gambling problems worsened, Isadora claimed that gambling psychology involved complex therapeutic processes and that addiction recovery required extended treatment periods with intensive psychological intervention that sometimes appeared to worsen before improving. Investigation revealed Isadora had been deliberately encouraging gambling addiction while collecting therapy fees from clients who trusted her psychology expertise, providing advice that worsened gambling problems and created financial destruction rather than helping clients develop healthy betting behaviors. She'd been working with gambling operators who paid commissions for customer referrals while knowing that Isadora's psychological advice was designed to create gambling addiction rather than prevent it. The fraud particularly harmed vulnerable bettors who needed legitimate psychological help but received advice that worsened their gambling problems and created financial destruction. Isadora had been maximizing therapy income while clients faced gambling addiction and financial ruin from psychological advice that violated professional therapy standards and ethical treatment requirements. When psychology investigators examined her consulting operation, they discovered Isadora had been encouraging gambling addiction in over 100 clients while collecting more than $400,000 in therapy fees for services that violated psychological treatment standards and professional ethics requirements. Our 26th story brings us to Des Moines, where sports betting recovery service owner Lavinia had been providing gambling addiction treatment and financial recovery assistance for 8 years. She specialized in addiction recovery and was known for helping problem gamblers overcome their betting addictions and rebuild their financial lives. Lavinia attracted desperate gamblers who needed professional help to overcome their gambling problems. Lavinia's recovery expertise helps us overcome gambling addiction and rebuild our financial stability, shared recovery client Marcus during his addiction treatment. Her understanding of gambling addiction and financial recovery provides the professional help needed to break destructive betting patterns and create healthy financial habits. But recovery clients began discovering that Lavinia was actually enabling their gambling addiction while collecting treatment fees, providing fake recovery services that kept clients gambling while claiming to provide professional addiction treatment and financial recovery assistance. Lavinia's recovery program actually encouraged continued gambling while collecting treatment fees, making my addiction worse rather than helping me recover, reported betrayed client Millicent to the Addiction Treatment Oversight Board. Her recovery expertise was fraudulent and designed to keep clients gambling rather than helping them overcome addiction as promised. When clients' gambling problems persisted, Lavinia claimed that addiction recovery involved complex therapeutic processes and that gambling addiction required extended treatment periods with intensive intervention that sometimes appeared unsuccessful despite professional treatment efforts. Investigation revealed Lavinia had been operating a fraudulent recovery service while collecting treatment fees from clients who trusted her addiction expertise, providing fake treatment that enabled continued gambling while claiming to provide professional recovery assistance. She'd been working with gambling operators who paid commissions for maintaining customer gambling activity, while knowing that Lavinia's recovery services were designed to prevent actual addiction recovery. The fraud particularly harmed desperate gamblers who needed legitimate recovery help but received services designed to maintain their gambling addiction rather than provide actual treatment and recovery assistance. Lavinia had been maximizing treatment income, while clients faced continued gambling addiction and financial destruction from recovery services that violated addiction treatment standards and professional ethics requirements. When addiction treatment investigators examined her recovery operation, they discovered Lavinia had been enabling gambling addiction in over 200 clients while collecting more than $700,000 in treatment fees for services that violated addiction recovery standards and professional treatment requirements. Our 27th story brings us to Cedar Rapids, where sports betting arbitrage service owner Nathaniel had been identifying risk-free betting opportunities and coordinating arbitrage wagering for 3 years. He specialized in arbitrage betting and was known for finding guaranteed profit opportunities through price discrepancies between different sportsbooks. Nathaniel attracted sophisticated bettors who wanted risk-free profits through professional arbitrage coordination. Nathaniel's arbitrage service provides guaranteed profits through risk-free betting opportunities, shared arbitrage client Olivia during her profit consultation. His expertise in finding price discrepancies and coordinating arbitrage bets creates consistent profits without gambling risk, making arbitrage betting a reliable income source. But arbitrage clients began discovering that Nathaniel's guaranteed profit opportunities were actually high-risk bets that resulted in substantial losses, while he collected arbitrage fees for services that provided no actual risk-free betting opportunities or guaranteed profits. Nathaniel's arbitrage opportunities were actually high-risk bets that lost money consistently, despite his claims about guaranteed profits and risk-free wagering, reported victimized client Percival to the Arbitrage Oversight Board. His arbitrage expertise was fraudulent and resulted in substantial losses rather than the guaranteed profits he promised. When clients faced losses from arbitrage betting, Nathaniel claimed that arbitrage opportunities involved complex calculations and that market movements could eliminate profit margins between identification and execution, creating risks that couldn't be completely eliminated despite professional arbitrage expertise. Investigation revealed Nathaniel had been providing fraudulent arbitrage opportunities while collecting fees from clients who trusted his risk-free betting expertise, identifying high-risk bets as guaranteed profits while knowing they would result in client losses rather than arbitrage profits. He'd been working with corrupt odds providers who supplied false information about betting opportunities, while Nathaniel claimed to provide legitimate arbitrage identification and coordination services. The fraud particularly harmed sophisticated bettors who sought risk-free profits, but received high-risk bets that guaranteed losses rather than the arbitrage opportunities they paid to access. Nathaniel had been maximizing arbitrage fees while clients faced betting losses from services that violated arbitrage standards and risk-free betting commitments. When arbitrage investigators examined his service operation, they discovered Nathaniel had been providing false arbitrage opportunities that resulted in over $800,000 in client losses, while collecting more than $200,000 in arbitrage fees for services that contained no actual risk-free betting opportunities. Our 28th story brings us to Sioux Falls, where sports betting verification service owner Quincy had been authenticating betting records and validating gambling claims for 2 years. He specialized in bet verification and was known for providing independent confirmation of betting results and gambling performance claims. Quincy attracted bettors who needed professional verification of their gambling success for legal and business purposes. Quincy's verification service provides independent confirmation of our betting records and gambling performance, shared verification client Rachel during her authentication process. His professional verification and documentation services create legally acceptable proof of our gambling success for business and legal purposes that require independent authentication. But verification clients began discovering that Quincy was providing fraudulent verification documents and false authentication certificates that created legal problems and business complications rather than legitimate proof of gambling, performance, and betting success. Quincy's verification documents were completely fraudulent and created legal problems when authorities discovered the false authentication, reported endangered client Sterling to the Verification Oversight Board. His verification expertise was fraudulent and created criminal liability rather than providing legitimate proof of gambling performance as promised. When clients faced legal problems from fraudulent verification, Quincy claimed that bet verification involved complex documentation procedures and that authentication services required subjective evaluation of gambling records that could produce varying results depending on verification standards and documentation requirements. Investigation revealed Quincy had been creating fraudulent verification documents while collecting authentication fees from clients who trusted his verification expertise, providing false certificates and authentication records that created legal liability rather than legitimate proof of gambling performance. He'd been working with corrupt notaries who provided false authentication while knowing that verification documents were fraudulent and would create legal problems for clients who used them for business or legal purposes. The fraud particularly harmed legitimate bettors who needed professional verification but received fraudulent documents that created criminal liability rather than legitimate proof of their gambling success. Quincy had been maximizing verification income while clients faced legal prosecution from fraudulent authentication services that violated verification standards and professional documentation requirements. When verification investigators examined his authentication operation, they discovered Quincy had been providing false verification documents that created over $1 million in client legal liability while collecting more than $100,000 in verification fees for services that violated authentication standards, and professional verification requirements. Thank you for joining me tonight on Drowsy Tales Daily. And may these stories guide you into peaceful sleep with renewed awareness of the importance of sports betting accountability and protecting gamblers from operators that would exploit their trust during vulnerable wagering situations. Sweet dreams, and I'll see you tomorrow night for another collection of fascinating Reddit stories designed to help you drift off to sleep.